In this video I want to talk about proposals in more detail and specifically about when to use short proposals, long proposals, and also what is the difference between a proposal and a contract or a terms of agreement. Now let's get started with the very first part, which is creating short proposals, which is my personal way to go. And I would actually consider a short proposal almost the same as a contract or as a terms of agreement, and although the technical definition in the vocabulary might be different, that's how I personally see it in my viewpoint. Because in the short proposal I essentially outline what the project scope is going to be from a high level, and the short proposal is usually 1 page, maximum 2 pages. So it's going to just have all of the elements which I need to communicate with a client from a high level. So things like a brief description of the project, the deliverable outcomes. So maybe if it's a website, something around the lines of this website is going to contain 3 pages. The first page is going to be about X, the second about Y, the third one about Z, and so on. So basically it's going to have all of those elements. It's also going to contain the milestones from a high level. So we're going to achieve this by this date, then this is going to happen, and then we're going to achieve this. And of course also the deadlines and the pricing. So essentially over there we're going to have these basic elements plus some extra terms of agreement which are going to depend based on the client, and that are totally up to you. You have total freedom on that, and they're going to change based on the client. So I cannot give a structured template which is going to work for each and every project, because that's going to be highly personalized. Now I wanted to discuss also the long proposals, and by long proposals I'm thinking about maybe like a 10-page PowerPoint presentation proposal or a 10-page PDF, something around those lines. And those are proposals which I rarely do, and I would do them only for larger projects, so more than $10,000 and even upwards. So it's really going to be something which you have to make the decision if you want to go with a longer proposal. The way I like to operate in my UI UX practice is essentially I want to have a feeling for the client before I commit long term to working with them. So one of the things that I like to do is to start small with a project and then create a outline for a longer term relationship. But usually by that time I don't really need to sell them with a longer proposal. Usually it's always just a simple written agreement, and I like to keep things simple. I like to keep things even just via email if possible, without even the need of creating a proposal. And that's just the way I like to operate. But long proposals are being used in the industry by a lot of people, and I would only recommend you to consider them if you're working on a very large scale project which is going to last maybe months and months on end, and you're not going to be paid hourly or in a way that it can be easily solved with just a simple agreement. So that would be my thoughts when it comes to that. And again, the difference between proposal, contract, and terms of agreement, in my opinion, is almost the same if we're going with the shorter proposals, because each and every one of those are going to have all of the elements which you need to be aligned with the client in order to handle expectations. And again, these are really important things to do upfront, because one of the most common problems that you can face as a designer, especially if you're freelancing, is miscommunication and misalignment of the expectations with the client. So you want to be crystal clear on the high level elements. But again, when you find the right client, usually most part is going to go really smooth. So don't worry too much about it. Don't stress too much about the details of the proposal. Just get it done, and then you're going to be good to go. And before I finish this video, I want to leave you with a quick trick which is going to enable you to avoid having to send a lot of proposals with no results, which sucks, and I've been there, done that many times, and I know better now, so I want to save you a lot of time. And the method is pretty simple. By the end of the call, you want to be aligned with the budget, because one of the major reasons why clients are going to refuse your proposal and reject it is going to be either because of money or because of the deadline. So either the price is too high, or even sometimes too low, or maybe it's taking too much time compared to what they were initially searching for. One of the phrases which I like to say at the end of a first call, or whenever I want to close the deal, is, okay, Mr. Prospect, usually in the past projects similar to this one would take anywhere between 2 to 4 weeks, and it would cost anywhere between $3,000 to $5,000. How do you feel about that? And at that point, the client is going to have a ballpark idea of your pricing and also how much would it take to get the project done. And if he's going to have objections, chances are he's going to tell them right away, so that you can avoid just sending a proposal which is either overpriced or underpriced, or that has a milestone which isn't really in line with what the client was looking for initially, and have the proposal rejected after you did a ton of work on the proposal itself. And this is actually a tip which a friend of mine who runs a 7-figure marketing business gave to me, so it was really valuable and really helped save a lot of time. And I hope if you use it that it's going to save a lot of time to you too. So this is it for this video. I'll see you in the next one.